All day fam, good. Back again for another segment. All day, no days off. So we're gonna get straight to it, man. It's been a really crazy day so far. A lot of free agents, a lot of players signing with different teams. It's been free agent frenzy. It's like what we like to call it. So I saw my X account just popping off, and I see a lot of podcasts talking about different players going to different teams, and I think the biggest name, like the biggest free agent right now, free agency signing right now is, in my opinion, my fault. I was reading what my boy Tony Jefferson was posting on his X account. So my fault. But yeah, I thought it was kind of interesting what he said. I'll share real quick. But hopefully we can keep him. TJ, he's a long time childhood friend of mine. Great safety, man. Great safety. I hope he stays. Hope the Chargers can keep him. It's obviously he doesn't want to. He doesn't. He's not looking nowhere. He's not looking to retire anytime soon. He's 32 years old, and I hopefully he can. Hopefully we can keep him. Hopefully we can. But yeah, as free agency begins, mania, whatever ends up happening, just know I love y'all. I love all of my boat family, like dead ass real love. That's gangster. That's gangster. Repost that. But anyway, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, in my opinion, I think the biggest free agency right now, the biggest free agent signing is probably, and when I mean by biggest, probably I say most important, most significant, is for some reason Kenneth Murray the third is running in my head. I think that's huge for the Chiefs. Now, that being said, the Chiefs are going to have to do something about defense because they lost some two really good corners, and cornerback, a good cornerback, forget good. McDuffie is a great cornerback, and Watson is a really good cornerback, and they lost both of them to the Rams. A really great cornerback really does help your team. It helps your defense. If you think about somebody like Darrell Reeves, Keith Talib, and Nani Oswald when he was playing back in with the Raiders, which the Raiders was really nothing. So that's a terrible example. Or someone like Chet Bailey, Todd Law, those guys, man, and none of those guys are on Reeves' level, but when you have a really great corner, a shutdown corner, a corner that can just erase half of the field, you know how much that helps your defense. I'm not saying McDuffie is that type of corner, but Pat Surtain, but McDuffie does really help, and he helped. McDuffie's presence helped the Chiefs out a lot. But here's the thing about the Chiefs: they did the same thing to Snead, and I was kind of worried. I was like, I don't know about that. McDuffie took over big time. So I think the Chiefs will be fine. They still got Magnolia. They still got Steve Spagnolias, and so I think the Chiefs will be fine. They got Andy Reid. They got Patrick Mahomes. Anytime when you got Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes, it doesn't matter. I always say this on the channel. I've been saying this since I've been a kid. Anytime you have a Hall of Fame quarterback and a Hall of Fame coach, you always got a chance. Always, always. So the Chiefs might be rebuilding in our eyes, but don't think for a second that they are not going to be. They're not going to be contenders. That's what they want you to think. They want you to think that they're just rebuilding and, oh yeah, they're not going to be relevant in the next few years or so. No, that's not the case. This is the Kansas City Chiefs we're talking about. Again, Hall of Fame coach, Hall of Fame quarterback. You can never undermine that. I don't care who they got on their roster. As long as those two are still on the in that with that franchise, always a shot. Bill Belichick, Brady, they always had a shot every single year. That's why they was able to dominate for 20 years. So just letting y'all know that. But I think the I like the Kenneth Murray spot. I like the who else? I like the Mike Evans. Oh no, I kept looking at something else. I like the Mike Evans situation. Mike Evans was really solid. I think I like Mike Evans going to the 49ers. I thought that was really, I think, like Mike Evans is he does he not, is not the only person who thinks is like he fits San Fran. He looks like he could be a Niner. Yeah, I mean, I think there was no other perfect team that he could have went to. Like just that whole entire organization, how it's built and everything, and but with Kyle Shanahan, I think Mike Evans going to San Francisco was one of the most perfect. I don't think I can't think of any other perfect situation for Mike Evans to go to. I've always thought Mike Evans was always underrated. I thought he was always overlooked. I thought for a while like he was always a top 5 receiver. I wouldn't say he's a top 5 receiver now, but in his prime, I've always thought he was. I was just like, I don't understand why this guy doesn't get the why he doesn't get the credit that he deserves. And maybe because he was in Tampa Bay. Now the 49ers, people talk about the 49ers more to get more media coverage, more than Tampa Bay does. So Mike Evans, he more than likely will start getting, more. He's going to start getting more recognition, more of the credit that he deserves. And you're talking about the 49ers weapons. You got Brandon Ayuk. Well, I don't know about Brandon. I know what Brandon Ayuk is going to do. I don't think he's with the 49ers anymore. But you got well, George Kittle. George Kittle is going to look. George Kittle, Mike Evans, Christian McCaffrey. It's a solid scene, and let's see if Brock Purdy, if he can freaking make some noise, get the ball to Mike Evans, which I'm pretty sure he will be able to do that. I'm pretty sure. But let's see here. Let me see what else ones. Let's see. NFL free agency winners and losers of today. Let's see who are the winners and losers? I mean, I thought there were some really great signings. It's really did. NFL free agency winners and losers: Jesse Bennett, Trent McDuffie up, Vic Fangio, Michael Penix down. The beginning of free agency is really disappointing, and this year has been no different. News of massive deals and major trades has been materializing at a rapid clip. We learned real fast which teams feel a sense of urgency to improve in a hurry. We also discovered how crazy the money could get when certain franchises have incredible amounts of salary cap space. Big name found new homes. Rising stars scored major money, and the thrilling part is that the offseason is really only just now kicking into full gear. With the 2-day window for teams and players to negotiate opening on Monday, the new league year set to start at 4 p.m. Okay, so the new league year is on Wednesday. That's what I thought. When signings and trades can become official, there's a lot to cover in a short amount of space. So this edition of the First Read is going to start where we usually do at this time of year, with a look at the winners and losers through the first day of the negotiating period. And speaking of the new league year, I think this is a perfect time to bring up that Kyler Murray. I know a lot of people, they're really curious about where Kyler Murray is going to end up. So Kyler Murray, he can negotiate, he could talk to teams. I don't know if he can negotiate, but he can talk. Maybe negotiating. I'm pretty sure he can negotiate while he's talking. He can negotiate and talk to these teams now, but he can't sign with anybody until as early as Wednesday. That's when the new league year starts. I think that's where his contract more than likely is officially up. And so this gets to, for your Kyler Murray fans out there, he can't sign with anybody until as early Wednesday, the earliest. Put it to you like that. So the winners, they're talking about the winners of the NFL free agency. I think this is interesting what they're talking about. I'm going to listen to this in a minute too, this video. But right now I'm going to read this real quick. Jesse Minter, they got number one as Jesse Minter as the winner. I guess because, Maxx Crosby, that's the biggest. That I forgot about the top mention about Maxx Crosby. I mean, when I first started this video, but I still think Kenneth Murray is a better signing than Maxx Crosby going to the Broncos, going to the Ravens, and I'll explain. Because I think the Ravens gave up way too much for Maxx Crosby. You give up 2 first rounds for Maxx Crosby. Don't get me wrong, Maxx Crosby, great player, great defensive player, high motor guy you can always depend on, no problems. He's a guy you want in your lead in your locker room. If I'm a GM or when I become a GM owner, I'm signing Maxx Crosby all day long, but I'm not giving up 2 firsts for Maxx Crosby. I'll draft Maxx Crosby in the first round, of course, but I'm not giving up 2 firsts for Maxx Crosby. I don't think he's worth 2 firsts. Somebody like Myles Garrett, that's worth 2 firsts. I wouldn't give up 2 firsts for Michael Parsons. I wouldn't give up 2 firsts for any of these pass rushers unless they're called Myles Garrett. Maybe TJ Watt. Maybe. But 2 firsts for Maxx Crosby, I think it's a little bit too much. I see what the Ravens are trying to do. They obviously want Maxx Crosby. He obviously fits their persona, their physicality, their theme, their brand, their franchise, their company, their characteristic of what they want out of players. He fits the Ravens way. He is your ultimate football player. He is a football player's football player. Yes, he is. But he's not the best at it. And he's not worth 2 first rounds. I'm not mad at the Ravens. I understand what they're doing. But with this being said, I think they gave up too much for him. And I think this might come back to bite them because you're not a Maxx Crosby away from winning a Super Bowl. And then you sign Maxx Crosby and then you lose Linderbaum. Linderbaum, I will argue, is a bigger. He's more important to your entire team than Maxx Crosby is to your entire team. Okay, you've had Jesse Minter. Jesse Minter's taking over the defense. Jesse Minter literally said out of his own mouth that he's going to be calling the defensive plays. He's going to be taking over the defense as the head coach. You didn't need Maxx Crosby. You didn't need Maxx Crosby as much as you needed Linderbaum. I will argue that for the Ravens, Linderbaum is the most outside of right behind Lamar Jackson, and you can argue probably the most. He is the most important player on that team. You're probably like, whoa, hold your horses. He's only a center. That's my point. He's not only a center. Centers, offensive linemen are highly underrated, and they don't get the credit that they deserve. They are just as much, or if not, more important, depending on who the quarterback is, than the quarterback on that team, especially the center. The center is the brain of the entire offense. He is the heartbeat of that offense. The quarterback, say he's probably like the nervous system. He's the one that gets everything going. You know, he gets the blood flowing. He controls it all. But the center, it's like it's the heartbeat. You're not going to be able to do anything. He is the organ. He is the vital of that offense because the quarterback depends on the center, and the center, a great center can elevate a quarterback's game even more, no matter who the quarterback is. Centers are very often overlooked, but centers, they play a huge part. And they just lost Linderbaum, and they was already struggling a little bit on the offensive line. So they got Maxx Crosby, and they cost him Linderbaum. In my opinion, is why I'm saying they costed Linderbaum because they couldn't. The Raiders just signed Linderbaum to a huge contract, and I think the Ravens should have been doing everything in their power to make sure to keep all the important pieces in house. And you didn't do that. You got Maxx Crosby, but you lost a lot. I don't think that was smart. I just don't think that was smart for the Ravens to do this. And I get it. You wanted Crosby. Who doesn't want Crosby? Everybody wants Crosby. But it shouldn't have costed you this much. And I don't agree with this article saying Jesse Minter was the number one. He's number one on this winner of the free agency. I don't agree. I just don't agree. Lamar Jackson has already been struggling. He's always been struggling in the playoffs. You should have kept Linderbaum before you try to get Max. And I'm being redundant, but I would not have done this if I was the general manager. If I was the general manager, I would have signed Linderbaum to what the market was saying that he was going to sign. I would have matched it. I would have matched it more. If I couldn't find anybody to replace Linderbaum, I would have went on and just signed him. I would have kept him. He is the center. He is extremely important, and Lamar Jackson depends on him. Lamar Jackson needs him. You mean to tell me Lamar Jackson didn't want Linderbaum to stay with the Ravens? I highly doubt that. Linderbaum is the best center, and he's not only like the second best important piece to the league. I mean to the Ravens. He's arguably the best center in the entire NFL. So you couldn't keep the best center in the entire NFL for Lamar Jackson. Look what the Raiders just did. Look what the Raiders just did. The Raiders made him the most. I think he's the most richest center in NFL history. That's not a bluff. They made him the most expensive. They made him the highest paid center in NFL history because he's that good. I mean, he's a really great player, and so I think this is going to really cost the Ravens. I really do, and yeah. So it says the Baltimore Ravens' new head coach is supposed to return that team to the postseason and improve their defense as disappointed far too often over the last 2 seasons. He received a huge boost in his pursuit of both those goals when general manager Eric DeCosta executed the blockbuster trade agreement for star edge rusher Maxx Crosby. This is the kind of deal the Ravens have shied away from making historically. They typically rely on drafting well and developing talent rather than giving away a couple of first-round picks. Let's see, first-round picks. 1 in 2026, 1 in 27. That's bad. And next year's draft is a very, very talented draft. It's very deep. So, I mean, it was deep. So, I guess I just don't like it. In exchange for a player as accomplished as Crosby, who's been named second team All-Pro twice and earned 5 Pro Bowl nods, this ultimately speaks to how much the Ravens need Minter to succeed quickly as a replacement for John Harbaugh, whom owner Steve Biscotti fired in January. And here's another thing. The Ravens has a new offensive coordinator. We don't know how great this offensive coordinator is going to be. And you just got rid of the second most important player on your entire offense, arguably your entire team. It's not a good look. And then you have a coach who's a defensive coordinator. I don't think the Ravens is going to be all that great this year. I don't see it. And you guys hear it from me first. I'm going to be straight up honest. I don't think the Ravens is going to be that good this year. I just it's too many question marks. This is Jesse Minter's first year. This is their offensive coordinator first year. Lamar Jackson, I don't know how happy he is. I don't know what's going on through Lamar Jackson's mind right now. Lamar Jackson may skip the entire offseason workouts until it's required for him to be there, but you give up a lot for Maxx Crosby. Yeah, I think the Ravens is going to struggle this year. I honestly do. I don't see it. Minter and defensive coordinator Anthony Weaver now can wield the one weapon the Ravens defense has lacked since Terrell Suggs left town following the 2018 season. A dominant pass rushing presence that can make life difficult for any offensive tackle in the league. And don't get me wrong, I don't say don't get me wrong, but let's not also forget Maxx Crosby. He has injury issues. I mean, he's been having a lot of knee surgeries. The Ravens have failed to draft a true difference maker at that position over the past 7 years. They've had some success with veteran free agents like Kyle Van Noy and Jadeveon Clowney, but Crosby's a true game changer. Yeah, there's no doubt about that. The Ravens had the league's best defense back in 2023 when it was being run by future Super Bowl winning Seahawks coach Mike McDonald. This bunch that Minter will put on the field already looks a lot better when you factor in other stars like linebacker Raquan Smith and safety Kyle Hamilton. That's another thing. They had the best defense in the NFL a few years ago, and they still couldn't get it done. What's going to be the difference of this year? What's it going to be the difference? Nothing. We don't even know how great this offensive coordinator is going to be for the Ravens. And like I said, they just got rid of their best, their second most important player on their offense. So number 2, they said Trick McDuffie, the 2-time All-Pro cornerback, is a perfect example of a young. Oh, I think they're saying like Jesse Minter. Oh, I think they're saying like, wait, I was kind of confused about this article because I'm thinking they're saying Jesse Minter was like the winner of him being the Baltimore Ravens. Okay, I think they're saying like the Ravens won, which getting Jesse Minter. I think that's what they're saying. Okay. And then number 2, Trick McDuffie, the 2-time All-Pro cornerback, is a perfect example of a young, talented player who was in the right place at the right time. The Los Angeles Rams were desperate for cornerback help after their defensive backfield struggled in the second half of last season, especially in an NFC Championship game lost to Seattle. The Chiefs were strapped with the kind of salary cap limitations that made it hard to see how they could give McDuffie the massive contract extension he coveted as he prepared to play 2026 on the final 5th-year option season of his rookie deal. They agreed upon trade that will send McDuffie from Kansas City. Should make everybody happy, especially McDuffie. The Rams are giving up plenty to acquire him. 4 total picks, including the 29th overall selection this year, and will be showering him with riches. He's agreed to terms on a 4-year extension worth $24 million. That's stupid. I'm sorry. Like that's just dumb. Like you paid way too much for him. Way too much for McDuffie. He's a solid cornerback. I like McDuffie. Is this coming from a former cornerback as myself, defensive back myself? I played cornerback and free safety, but I think this is dumb. Like you gave up way too much. You I think I don't see this. I don't whatever. It was a legitimate question as to whether McDuffie deserved to be paid in the same 30 million per year neighborhood as other cornerbacks chosen in the 2020 NFL draft. Sauce Gardner and Derek Stingley Jr. I mean, Sauce Gardner don't even deserve that much. Derek Stingley Jr. There's no argument, no debate, no debate. It's obvious because he's been more impactful in the slot than as an outside corner. That's another thing. He's better at nickel than he is outside. So it's just like, what are we doing here? Because he's been more impactful in this. The Rams apparently weren't put off by that at all. McDuffie's prowess in that area of the field seems he can shadow Seattle's Jackson Smith, Nick Jigba, who won Offensive Player of the Year honors in 2025 and dominates out of the slot. McDuffie also attended high school not far from himself. Yeah, he's from LA. He and played for Rams secondary coach Jimmy Lake while in college at Washington. McDuffie obviously loved his time helping the Chiefs build a dynasty. He'll be even happier in Los Angeles, especially if he helps the Rams win another Super Bowl there. I already got the Rams going to the Super Bowl this year, but they're not going to win it. I already told y'all my Super Bowl pick. I'm going to keep reminding y'all until it happens. Then we get to the Super Bowl. Rams and Chargers next year. I'm sticking with that until one of them gets booted out in the playoffs, like I did this year, and then I'll pick somebody else. Brett Veach, the Chiefs GM, proved that he's going to continue being. There's two GMs, man, in the NFL that I love. I love every move they make, and probably three. And it is in this order. It's the Chiefs GM, the Eagles GM, and the Chargers GM. I like how three of those GMs actually make moves. I think they really do play chess when they're making these moves. And I honestly, I really do like how Joe Ortiz is making moves. He's still young at it. He's still, you know what I'm saying? He's not going to start, people's not going to really start talking about Ortiz until we start winning Super Bowls. But Ortiz, I think he's doing a really great job. I think he's a solid GM, and he's getting better every year. I like the moves. He hasn't really done a move that I've been questioning, really, to be honest with you. And yeah. So yeah, those are three GMs that I learned from. I study them like a book. Let's see. So the Chiefs GM that proves that he's going to continue being as aggressive as everyone when it comes to improving his team. The Chiefs were better off agreeing to that McDuffie trade because it wouldn't make sense to pay McDuffie at that level, given their salary cap constraints. Exactly. And two, this team needs an infusion of young talent if it wants to resume contending for championships. Veach came into the offseason holding just 6 picks in this year's draft. He'll now have 9 to work with. And that's what I'm saying. He's getting wealth. He's getting wealth. He's trading away his deteriorating capital, or not even capital anymore, deteriorating asset to gain more capital. The game is chess. It's not even chess. It's Monopoly. He's playing Monopoly right now, and he's making sure he owns his square. And his square is Chiefs Kingdom, is to keep that dynasty intact, and that's what they're trying to do. So, like I said, and you still got Andy Reid, you still got Patrick Mahomes. It's like, yo, you can make some trades, man. And he's not only going to see. There's a thing. I think some teams, it's different with some teams. It probably looks good on paper. Probably when they get these big name players, it looks good right off the bat. Yes, it's like, oh my God, they got AJ Brown. Don't get me wrong, I love AJ Brown. I'm just giving an example here. Like, oh my God, they got AJ Brown. Or oh my God, they got Maxx Crosby. Oh my God, they got Myles Garrett. It probably looks good right then and there, and it probably can even help. Maybe sometimes get you a Super Bowl right that year, depending on the type of team that you have. But what are you giving up? It's economics, man. What are you giving up to get that huge, pretty asset? You know what I'm saying? To get that nice Bentley. It probably looks good in the garage right now. But is this actually capital? Is this like long-term value? Are you getting a real return of your interest? Is this future value right now? I don't know. And that's what I'm saying about Maxx Crosby. I don't know. Like, having all those knee injuries, man, that's something that you got to take in consideration, man. And that's the thing. And the Chiefs is like, we're gonna get younger, we're gonna get faster, we're gonna get stronger. You know what I'm saying? I think what the Chiefs are doing, like the Chiefs are playing Monopoly right now, while everybody is probably playing chess. But Monopoly, I always say Monopoly That's the person who's playing Monopoly is always going to come over the person playing chess, because you can be king all you want, but your kingdom can be, you could be renting your kingdom off my property. Who's the real king? Who's the real owner? You see what I'm saying? So my thing is, it's like, you're talking about the Chiefs dynasty right now. And so the Chiefs, they want to keep that dynasty intact, and they want to keep that ownership intact, and they're going to keep getting better assets in the future that's going to bring contribution and invest future value and future investment to that Chiefs dynasty. They want to keep it up. I think what Veach is doing right now is phenomenal, and it's genius. It's pure genius. And the fact that they just got Kenneth Murray or Kenneth Walker, I don't know if I keep saying Kenneth Murray, Kenneth Walker the third, that helps. They got a run. They got a running back. I told y'all this before, like videos ago. They got, when you a great, or you don't want to be a great running back, if you're just really good in between tackles, you're always falling forward. You're always getting those tough, hard gaining yards. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Break off a 5, break off a 10, break off a 20. That's Kenneth Walker right there. You know what I'm saying? Getting those hard gaining yards, that stuff helps with the motivation and the rhythm of your, not only your offense, but your entire team. I feel like a running back, like he's like a great physical running back. He's the tone setter. He's a tone setter of the physicality of the whole entire team. And then you got Patrick Mahomes, and then you got Andy Reid. He's gonna scheme up some stuff, bro. The Chiefs, I feel like they're going to be good. They're going to be back. That's what they was missing. They was missing that running back that was giving them hard earning yards. When Patrick Mahomes had to do everything. Now Patrick Mahomes want to do everything now. Patrick Mahomes got to put his body in the line. You got to take those unnecessary shots. They got a guy named Kenneth Walker now, who is going to be more than willing, voluntary every single day to take them shots, because that's the type of back that Kenneth Walker is. This is a great move by the Chiefs. Great move by him. So he'll now have 9 to work with, including the 9th, and then they got wealth, they got capital, 9th and 29th overall, and the 13.6 million in cap room. He'll save that. He saved with the McDuffie deal. Will come in real handy. Given Al the first day of the free agency negotiating window went on Monday. Veach grabbed the best running back on the market, and he's young. He's only 25. Kenneth Walker III, who was signing a 3-year deal worth up to $45 million. That's not that much for, in my opinion. Veach also received more encouraging news when tight end Travis Kelce informed that the team that he would be returning for a 14th season. That's also good. Travis Kelce fell off a little bit, but he's still, like, Travis Kelce falling off, he's still one of the best tight ends in the league. He's still going to come up and show up for you. And he's not going to have to do as much. You know what I'm saying? When you get guys who can really take the load off other players, somebody like Kenneth Walker, that just makes those other players better now. And then you still got Andy Reid calling up, scheming up some stuff. And so after considering retirement, it's now easy to reimagine Veach filling more major holes as the Chiefs move deeper into the offseason. This team still needs help at edge rusher, wide receiver, interior defensive line, safety, and of course cornerback, as much as some of the optimists might cling to the notion that they can contend as soon as quarterback Patrick Mahomes returns from a torn ACL. The reality is the quarterback covered up a lot of flaws that emerged with Kansas City finishing 6-11 last season. We don't know how that injury will impact Mahomes, how much standout different type of Chris Jones has left, or what the 36-year-old Kelce can still offer. What is clear is that the Chiefs need to make plenty of savvy moves to improve this roster. Veach is in a better position to do that now, of course. Let's see what they're saying. Receiver.
Let's start on offense.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of talk about Jeremiah Love before what happened with Kenneth Walker today, so that has to be probably off the table as a first-round pick. But I think receiver should
I'll still get Jeremiah Love.
Cardell Tate from Ohio State is a player who's gotten a lot of buzz, a lot of speculation about the Chiefs making a move on him. They have not been very happy with what they've gotten from Rashee Rice the last couple of years. He's only played 12 games during that time, and Xavier Worthy has not blossomed into the player they thought he was going to be. Only have a couple other players on the roster from last year, so Tate could be a guy who could make Rice expendable after next season and really could provide that big play element. You see him catching a lot of deep balls here in these highlights. He's got that speed. He's a long player. Could be a very attractive option for that team at number 9 now.
Let me keep it 100, man. I would, if I was the Kansas City Chiefs, if I was Veach, the general manager for the Chiefs, if the Jeremiah Love, they're picking 9. If Jeremiah Love somehow falls to number 9, which I don't think he will, but if he does, and the Kansas City Chiefs is on the clock, I don't care they got Kenneth Walker III. Jeremiah Love and Kenneth Walker are 2 different type of backs, and we already saw how great of a back Kenneth Walker was not even being the feature back. If I was the Chiefs, I will be greedy. I mean, if I was GM for anybody, for any of these NFL teams, I'll be greedy. That's the whole point. You got to be greedy. There is no such thing as enough. I will get Jeremiah Love. If Jeremiah Love is right there, bro, the Chiefs better get him. Could you imagine Jeremiah Love, Kenneth Walker, in a Patrick Mahomes offense, in an Andy Reid offense? That will be a freaking dangerous offense. Jeremiah Love isn't only a running back. He is probably in this draft, one of the best receivers in this draft, and he's a running back. Jeremiah Love is a very versatile back, and he's very explosive. Could you imagine what he can do? Him and Kenneth Walker, that will be hard to stop. Could you imagine the type of assets that can be for Patrick Mahomes? I don't think Veach is an idiot. I'm telling you right now, if Jeremiah Love is sitting right there and he's the best player available for the Chiefs, I'm telling you, it will not surprise me. You heard it from me first. It will not surprise me if they still get Jeremiah Love. Why not? Why not? Why not? You already see a lot of teams already like 1-2 feature backs anyway. They will do it. I think they will do that. I think they will definitely do that. A lot of people are writing this off now because they're like, oh, Jeremiah Love falls to the Chiefs. He's going to go to the Chiefs. But that was before they signed Kenneth Walker. Now that they signed Kenneth Walker, a lot of people are writing him off now. They're like, oh, he's not going to go to the Chiefs. Why not? Yes, he can still go there. He can still go there. They're two different type of backs. So that's just my opinion, man. So number 40 said Alec Pierce. Last week, Pierce talked about wanting to explore free agency, even while declaring his love for Indianapolis. In the end, he found plenty of reasons to stay. The best wide receiver on the free agent market, ranked 5th overall in the free agency crop by Greg Rosenthal, is signing a 4-year deal worth maximum of $160 million, which gives him the chance to continue the momentum he created last season. So he's staying with the Colts. Okay. Pierce spent his first 3 pro seasons building a reputation primarily as a deep threat for the Colts. He grew into a more viable all-around weapon in 2025 when he set career highs in receptions, 47 and 1,000 yards, and still chose K-Stat impressive speed with a 21 point. That's insane. He broke record. He has the best, I think, in the NFL history with that. With the 21.3 yards per catch average. The deal works on a few levels. The first is that the Colts know exactly what kind of talent Pierce is after watching him for seasons. He also has an obvious rapport with quarterback Daniel Jones, the chemistry that should continue to grow as they spend more time together. The Colts didn't even have to go overboard with the money they paid Pierce. The top receivers are working on deals averaging between $35 million and $40 million annually. Pierce's contract puts him in line with good players like Cincinnati T. Higgins, $28.75 million, Miami's Jalen Waddle, $28.25 million, and Buffalo's DJ Moore, $27.5 million. Given that Pierce is primed for a bigger role this upcoming season, yeah, because they did get rid of Michael Pittman to the Steelers. This is a situation that worked out very well for him. That's going to be interesting. Michael Pittman going to Steelers. That's going to be interesting. Michael Pittman and DK Metcalf. I mean, it Steelers got more wealth at receiver. I like Michael Pittman. You guys already know how I am with my USC players. And then they said centers. Tyler Linderbaum was expected to be a hot commodity if the Ravens couldn't find a way to retain the 3-time Pro Bowl center, but it's hard to imagine anybody predicting he would cash in on his talents to this degree. The Las Vegas Raiders agreed to make Linderbaum the highest paid center in the league history with a 3-year, $81 million deal. That average annual salary of $27 million is $9 million more than the second highest paid player at that position. Kansas City's Creed Humphrey. Drew Dalman was the most competed center in last year's free agent market, and his deal with the Bears was worth only $14 million per year annually. He recently retired at age 27. Oh, Dalman. Oh, wow. We all know the Raiders had tons of salary cap space to play with this season. The team leads the league into that department with nearly $112 million for over the cap, but there won't be a more astonishing deal signed this offseason than this one. That isn't a knock on Linderbaum. He's going to bring tremendous value to a team that is expected to use the first overall pick in the 2026 NFL draft on Mendoza and already needs to energize its running game after selecting running back Ashton Jeanty, 6th overall last year. It remains to be seen how quickly Linderbaum can make that impact, but this is much clear already. Every talented center coming up for a new deal is going to be praising Linderbaum's name for years to come. The losers, Jerry Jones. They said the Cowboys owner was competing for the right to acquire Maxx Crosby before eventually losing out to the Ravens. Well, I mean, I don't think Jerry Jones wanted to give up that much for the Ravens. It's a legitimate argument that giving up 2 first-round picks for a player might have been too much to bear, especially since Green Bay gave up 2 first-rounders to acquire. Exactly. So it's just like, why would I give up the 2 first rounders that I got for Michael Parsons to get no, it just doesn't make any sense. Maxx Crosby isn't that much better than Michael Parsons, if he is better than Michael Parsons. And Parsons eventually sustained a torn ACL late in what had been an impressive year, but Crosby would have been a game changer in Dallas. The Cowboys' plan B turned out to be another trade with Green Bay this time. I think this was actually brilliant by Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones is not playing it safe. A lot of people may think he is. He's not. He's keeping his wealth and he's stacking. He's stacking his wealth slowly but steady. Exactly. You don't have to make these big name signings for you to not do anything for you to not do anything productive. I think that what Jerry Jones is doing right now is productive. I remember Sean Gary. He's not a Maxx Crosby, but he's a productive player. He's a productive player. And now you got him and Kenny Clark, and you got 2 first rounds. Come on, man. No, I think what Jerry Jones is doing right now is brilliant. In exchange for a 4th round pick in 2027. Gary is certainly an upgrade on what Dallas already had on the edge. It's also worth wondering how impactful he will be as a Cowboy. Gary was once considered an ascending talent. A torn ACL 2022 season changed all that. He hasn't been nearly as proficient at pressuring quarterback since he was before that injury. The 29-year-old is set to count for $19.5 million against this year's cap. There's a reason the Packers were considering releasing him at some point this season. Offseason, Jones certainly found a cheaper option for his pass rush. It remains to be seen if it will be an effective one. I think this is going to help. I think this helps. Vic Fangio, the Eagles defensive coordinator, has been lauded for his work with that unit over the past 2 seasons. His job became much tougher with edge rusher Jalen Phillips agreeing to a 4-year, $120 million deal to go to Carolina. Just as with the situation that played out with Crosby in Dallas, there is a point where every franchise must weigh the long-term cost of any player. The money Phillips received would have been tough for any general manager to stomach, even one as aggressive as Philadelphia's Howie Roseman. The problem is that Fangio is now back in the same difficult spot he found himself in last season when he needed to find more juice for the pass rush. The Eagles executed a midseason trade to acquire Phillips, and he proved to be a valuable addition to one of the league's best defenses. So let's see. Retired Brian Graham to the roster also provides some indication of how badly Philadelphia wanted to prove its ability to get after the quarterback. It's a long offseason, and there will be other opportunities for the Eagles to address this obvious need. But right now, their most talented edge rusher is moving on to a brighter future elsewhere. Hold on, wait. Jalen Phillips went to Carolina. That's going to be great for Carolina. All right, and then we got. It says Michael Penix Jr. It's not clear yet when the quarterback ready to play again as he rehabilitates his torn ACL. The Falcons do apparently think it's a good idea to have some insurance on hand and likely competition once the 3rd-year pro returns to action, which is why former Miami Dolphins quarterback Tua is going to be a member of that. Wow, okay, so they're signing Tua. The Dolphins' decision to reach Tua doesn't mean he's washed. There's been too many disappointing quarterbacks in recent memory who've revived their careers in other places. A list that includes Sam Darnold, Daniel Jones, Baker Mayfield, and the man who just agreed to replace Tua, Green Bay backup Malik Willis. The important thing to remember here is that the person who brought Penix to Atlanta as the 8th overall pick of the 2024 NFL draft, former general manager Terry, is no longer working for the team. There is no reason for the GM Cunningham and head coach Stefanski to tie themselves to a player who's being inconsistent and is now returning from a major injury. I was kind of big on Penix, man. He's been very underwhelming since. The Falcons looked pretty formidable when Cousins was under the center down the stretch last season. Penix had better hope. The new regime doesn't anticipate another older veteran being able to do the same things this year. Yeah, so I was trying to see if some of that stuff was interesting to talk about. But yeah. So it was some really, really amazing signings. The ones that I'm really looking forward to looking to see, like the players, I'm really looking forward to see that Kenneth Walker, how he's going to do with the Chiefs. I'm looking forward. Oh, the Chargers, they signed a fullback from the They signed a fullback from the. My fault. I'm over here looking at what Adam Schefter just posted. He said, hold on, I can show you this and I'll go to the Chargers real quick. Give me a second. So y'all can see this. I thought this was cool, interesting news. So the Raiders addition today. They got center Tyler Linderbaum, linebacker Quay Walker, Jacoby Dean, Jalen Naylor. Okay, they got Jalen. They got some wide receiver help. 3 year, $35 million. It's not bad. Quiddy Pay. Okay. Eric Stokes, Malcolm. Okay, and they trade for Taron Johnson. I think it's not bad. It's not. That's not. I mean, this is some solid players. Some solid players. It's not bad. It's not bad. I don't think that's too bad. I don't think that's. Yeah. Yeah, I think the Raiders are doing a pretty good job. Yeah, I think that's a pretty solid. Yeah, Raiders. They're not. They're yeah. They're going to be competing. They're going to compete. Let me go up to the Chargers page and I'll talk about them real quick. Let's see. Oh, Steelers just got Rico Dawday, or I don't know if I messed his name up, but the Pittsburgh Steelers have reported agreed to terms with running back Rico Dawday. I think that's how you pronounce his name. The 27-year-old undrafted standout who rushed for over 1,000 yards in 2024 with Dallas and over 1,000 yards plus 6 touchdowns with Carolina. He's been averaging 1,000 yards every in the past 2 years, so he's doing really well. Now he's been a little bit underwhelming towards the end of the year with Carolina, but we'll see. He'll pair with Jalen Warren, who's locked in through 2027 to bring speed, vision, and receiving skills to a backfield rebuilding after losing Kenneth Gainwell. The move reunites him with Mike McCarthy. Oh, yeah, because he was with Dallas. His former Dallas boss, as part of a busy day that also saw Pittsburgh acquire wideout Michael Pittman Jr. and cornerback Jamil Dean on a 3-year, $36.75 million deal. Fans are calling Warren and Dotto. No, not at all. Not at all. Please just stop. They're not. They're not going to be that. That's not going to happen. But I think it's a great signing. I think it's a good signing. So, yeah. Buccaneer signing Kenneth Gainwell. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, snap. Oh, yeah, we got some. It's a lot of signings real quick. So freaking Texans signs Eagles safety Reed Blankenship to a $24.75 million deal. Bruh. Oh man. That's gonna hurt the Eagles. Oh man. I don't like that. I mean, for the Eagles, the Houston Texans agreed to a 3-year, $24.75 million contract with former Eagles safety Reed Blankenship, including $16.5 million guaranteed. The 27-year-old who earned a starting spot after going undrafted out of Middle Tennessee State posted 308 tackles, 9 interceptions, and 23 pass deflections over 4 seasons, helping Philadelphia win a Super Bowl in 2025. He joins a strong man. Bro, the Texans are going to – their defense is already brutal. They're probably going to have – they probably got the best safety duo now. Kalen Bullock and Blankenship. They probably got the best safety duo. Y'all heard it from me first. I'm not going to say it. I can't think of another better safety duo. You got Kalen Bullock and Reed Blankenship. Though fans push for offensive line upgrades amid the team's cap flexibility for more moves. Ooh, man, that's I don't know about the Eagles right now. 3 year, 24.75 million. Very sneaky and smart. Wait. Yeah, we're gonna do a Cooper DeJean. The Eagles are looking like they having some issues, man, trying to keep some players because they are already talking about signing. Trading Jalen Carter, or they can't. They don't. You don't know if they're going to be able to keep those two big guys. They're not going to be able to keep Jalen Carter and AJ Brown. They're not going to be able to keep both of them. So one guy is saying that the Eagles should bring back TJ Gardner Johnson as an affordable veteran piece. The 2 years he's been in Philadelphia, he's played at. Yeah, he has. I don't know why they even got rid of him. The defenses have been elite and they've gone to the Super Bowl. Andrew Mukuba is also coming off a pretty nasty injury, and Sidney Brown is a thumper, but more of a special teams player. All right, what about this? I already talked about that, but what about, wait, hold on, we were talking about that. There was another, yeah, right here. So, Chargers fan base, we were not able to keep Zion Johnson. I'm not mad at it though. I'm not, I'm not really upset at with this. You thought about it. You would probably. I mean, ideally, we wanted to keep Zion, but my thing is that we gave him a price, and we gave Zion a price, and he didn't. I guess he didn't want that. So obviously he didn't want to stay with LA, and the Browns they overmatched that price, and he was like, "Hey, I'm gonna go to Cleveland and be a loser because he ain't gonna win anything in Cleveland. They don't even know. You don't even know if you got we don't even know who their quarterback is going to be. So I get it though. Get your money, get that bag. So I'm not mad at him. I mean, I'm definitely not mad at the Chargers. Very athletic guard, and he was very promising. He got a see if you can get the Chargers are eyeing agency that the Chargers are. We just picked up a really great football. All right, let's see. All right, here we go. This is the guy I was looking for. Oh no, I'm looking for the freaking fullback. But we signed an offensive guard. We just signed offensive guard Cole Strange. Reach agreement today on a 2-year, $13 million deal with the Chargers, where he now will be reunited with his former head coach Mike McDaniel in Los Angeles. So the Jags are trying to trade Brian Thomas Jr. if a new team acquires. Wait, is this true? I don't understand why nobody's talking about the freaking. Oh wait, hold on. So we lost two. I mean, we lost Adofiowe. I didn't even know this. So we lost Adofiowe. He's signing with the Commanders. Wait, on a 4-year, $100 million deal. What the hell? Including $68 million guaranteed with the man. Yeah, goodbye, bro. He's not worth that much. That's the Commanders are dumb for signing. What the hell? You signed him to this much? One can argue he only was blossomed because he was playing under the Jesse Miners off in defense. He was already struggling with the Ravens before he came to LA. Well, goodbye, Owe. It's nice when we had you. I think that's dumb. I think that's dumb. It's going to be interesting to see what Charlie Cooler can do. He obviously can block. It makes him not the NFL's highest paid blocking tight end. It's going to be interesting. Okay, so we're obviously getting blockers. We're getting blockers. Let's see what else. Yeah, I agree with this. Yet another classic example of the Raiders spending most of their resources in one place. They never have the infrastructure built to do this, yet they always do, and it pretty much always fails. Yeah, see, that's what I like about what Joe Ortiz is doing. Joe Ortiz is spreading the wealth. And one of these players that he's spreading the wealth with, you know what I'm saying, he's going to hit. He's going to he might hit on that tight end. He might hit on that. Well, definitely he's going to hit on that fullback that we got. And I'm trying not to I'm trying to find, but I might just need to just go on Charter's newsletter. Well, hold on, you're talking about yeah, this is old news though. This is old news. But one of these deals is going to hit. That's the thing. What's the thing about Joe Ortiz? And that's why I love Joe Ortiz's strategy. I really do. I'm trying to figure out where in the hell is the Chargers X account. That's what I was looking for, but I don't see it. But I'll just go to the NFL page. Let's see. Because I think this is a low-key, very strategic move by the Chargers. Where's he at? Where's he at? Now we signed Camille Mack to a 1-year deal. I love it. Man, nobody's covering the fullback that we got. I don't understand that. And he's like arguably the best blocking tight end or fullback in the NFL. But I'll just research it. Alec Ingold is his name. That was his name, Alec Ingold. Let me see if I can. All right, here we go. This is what I was looking for. 5 things to know about the new Chargers fullback Alec Ingold. In a dying position, but if you can get a really good productive fullback out of that position, it exceedingly helps your offense. The Los Angeles Chargers on Sunday agreed to terms with fullback Alec Ingold. Here are 5 things to know about Ingold. Joining the Bulls, the Chargers have added a veteran fullback with plenty of experience. Ingold has played a total of 7 seasons in the NFL, the most recent coming with the Dolphins. He's played 107 games over his career and contributed on offense as well, tallying 667 total yards from scrimmage and 6 touchdowns. Reunion in LA, Ingold is back with an offensive mind he knows very well. Chargers offensive coordinator Mike McDaniel and the fullback are back reunited after the pair spent the last 4 seasons in Miami. McDaniel brought Ingold to the Dolphins in his first season as head coach, where he played a total of 66 games for the team. He helped Ingold earn Pro Bowl honors in 2023 after a strong campaign and career high in yards for a season with 119. In total, he tallied 406 yards from scrimmage to go along with 3 total touchdowns across his 4 years with McDaniel. Ingold is no stranger to the Chargers division, as a fullback began his NFL career in the AFC West as a member of the Raiders. After signing with the team as an undrafted free agent in 2019, he spent 3 seasons with the team and played in 41 games. He had 261 yards from scrimmage and 3 touchdowns, and he added 7 tackles and 3 fumble recoveries. Okay, we don't care about the water minute. Former Badger began his collegiate career at Wisconsin as a linebacker after making the switch to fullback in his freshman season. He thrived in the role and ended up playing a significant part in his 4 seasons. Okay. Yeah, so I think he's a really solid fullback. I think it's going to really help out our team. What about this? Tyler, I don't know how to pronounce him. Biadasz, I think he pronounced his name. And he joins the Tyler Biadasz joins the Chargers after 2 seasons as a Commander starting center. The 28-year-old joined Washington in the 2024 free agency period and started 31 regular season games he played for them, in addition to 3 playoff games. He logged over 900 offensive snaps each season and allowed 4 total sacks and no quarterback hits over the last 2 seasons. That's awesome. But he has had an impressive career. The Center's first year in Washington saw them go on quite a run. He was part of the Commanders team that went all the way to the NFC Championship game, a turnaround for the team and quarterback Jayden Daniels' rookie season. That season, he allowed just 1 sack the entire year and was called for just 3 penalties. It's 18, so he's disciplined. It's 18 pressures allowed, were the 8th fewest among centers with at least 400 snaps. He was also a key figure in the Commanders, finishing the year averaging the 3rd most rushing yards at 154.1 yards per game and 4.98 yards per rush. Good for 4th best in the NFL. So he's good at pass and run. Former Pro Bowler. He's former Pro Bowler under his 6 names in season as a pro. He was named to a 2022 NFC Pro Bowl squad after the first time in his career, after a strong season in Dallas. He was pretty good in college. Played at Wisconsin. This is perfect. This is great. All right, so yeah. I'm excited. I like what the Chargers are doing. What they're doing is very strategic, to be honest with you. Very strategic. So that's all I got right now. And so I thank you all so much for watching. If you want more, you know what to do. Like, comment, share, subscribe. You know where to find me. All right, we'll be back all day very soon. Deuces.